Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. How are you all? Am I audible to you guys? Just put in the chat if I'm audible to you. Okay, Akasha said good evening. Okay, okay. As everyone know, you might have met me yesterday. So just how are you all guys? And one more question, guys. Is anyone here an anime fan? Because I know Gaurav Deep sir is surely, but anyone else an anime fan? Have you watched the new Demon Slayer movie? Because I've actually been looking forward to it. Yeah, बस लोग चलते हैं यार. But campus is- okay, okay. So you guys just put in the chat. I'll not take much time. Until then, what I'll do is I'll just give you a quick brief on the reminder. Sorry, on the reminder I'm saying, reminder on the actual giveaway that we have. So for everyone who are new here, we actually have a competition going on. So what all you have to do for that is, just pay attention in the session, take some screenshots, and at the end just post it on LinkedIn, your summary. Just tag me, tag Gaurav Deep sir, tag Let's Upgrade, and with that you just have to do, put up a summary of the post, and after that you are automatically eligible to a giveaway that we are going. You might have a chance of a 500 rupee of winning a 500 rupee coupon. All you have to do is, as I said, post it, take screenshots, everything you do, and if any questions, just reach out to us on support at letsupgrade.com dot in support at letsupgrade.in. Please do not go to com. Okay, so that's one thing. Anything else you can put out in the chat. We are here, we are all gonna do we are all here, and we're all gonna do our best to solve it out. Anything else, and just that's it. Okay, over to you, Gaurav sir.
All right. I think I'm audible because I have to always switch between my microphones and cameras, webcams. So one thing I can see myself in the webcam, which means it is working. The audio also seems to be working fine. Fair enough. Let's assume that. Let me also open up the chat sections. Okay. I'll just also share the profile in chat. Let me see the chats are working. Yes, the chats are working fine. Cool. Okay. That's fair enough. All right. Can I quickly get some enthusiasm, people? Let's make the chat a little interesting. Okay. Uh, we have Raghav joining in, Akash joining in. Okay. Anime world is here. What else can be? Cool. Okay. Let me just be very sure that my chats are not stuck. Let me reload this. Yes. All right, people. So day three, finally, a new project that will start, and along with that, we will also just recap what we were doing yesterday. And for notes giveaway, again, the scope will be that. Uh, so I figured out that the simple issue was that matplotlib was missing, right? And we never installed it, which was breaking the code. So once we have done it, I have created a proper requirements.txt, and there you go. You can see the mood distribution with majority of it will say I'm really happy most of the time, whereas angry, tiredness, and stress is along with the sadness is on a minimal scale. Happy and excited is what I mostly tend to be. Okay, so that's the idea. The logout and things are working fine over here. Okay. Along with that, what you will realize is that if you go to the same link of day two, I'll just add something more on top of it. Okay. Wait, let me open this document that I can edit it. Okay. Yes, I have the editing access now. I go down. Okay. And I'll paste GitHub link. Okay, I'll paste the GitHub link. That's really important for other people who will be following. Let me make it bold. The GitHub link. Let me go to the GitHub and just quickly take that link. Okay. Right. Okay. Let me go to my GitHub profile. dashboard, RAG basics, RAG chatbot, mental health tracking. Okay, this is the GitHub profile. Let me open the tab back again. Let me paste it. I'll also show you what I'm doing right over here. Right over here. Okay, I'm just editing this file. Okay, this is the GitHub link that you all can follow. Okay. All right, cool. So this document now contains that. Again, we will create a tab for day 3 where I'll put in all the, you can say day 3 prompts plus GitHub link. Okay, I'll do the same over here plus GitHub link right over here. Now, one interesting thing that you all should follow. What is this? Okay, this is, I think, or did I close the YouTube stream? Let me open up the live chats again. Okay, this is the link. I hope my voice is clear, right, people? Whatever I'm speaking, you're able to get it. All right. So here we are. Yes. All right. Perfect. Now, along with that, what you'll realize is that if you check the README will basically explain you the setup instructions. How do you set up a virtual environment on Windows and Mac? How do you start a virtual environment? How do you install the dependencies? How do you start the backend where it will be running? How do you start the Streamlit application? Okay, and what are the features that this app covers and some notes. Okay, which you can take it as a base project built on top of it. Along with that, you will realize I have created a prompts.txt file. It will help you trace back for all the prompts that I used. It will not only contain the single happy cases prompts, they also contain prompts that we failed. Okay. If you realize line number 4 and 5, we showed some error, and line number 6, we decided that we will restore the original code and we will move back with it, right? That's where we will like this will just guide you in a way that you will have some feeling what I did, okay, throughout the session, what was the agenda and how did we use vibe coding. So all the 10 traces cover the 10 different vibes that we use to make it, right? Okay. Uh, is my screen correctly visible? Because on YouTube, I think there's a massive lag. Let me, okay. All right. Things are going fine. Cool. Okay, so with this being said, I think this is the idea that you were supposed to understand. Now we can move on to another app. Okay. Any messages, any chat that I'm missing, something I should know? Nothing. All good. All good. Until here. Okay. So we are on day 3. Day 3. Let us talk about the agenda. Let us talk about what we are planning to make. Okay. So day 3 is all about making a dating app. So we all might know the working of any dating app or any chatting platform like Tinder, Bumble, and many other platforms which are available, right? How they are supposed to work. So the ideal scope of work here could be to have a profile creation where you can log in. Maybe if you ever ponder upon some dating applications, you will realize that the most important concept here is to note down your age, your gender, your name, your hobbies, your interests, some maybe your bio or short description of summary, and then successfully use artificial intelligence, successfully use some NLP concepts to map and match your profile with relevant potentials, right? So if at all you are a musician and you like trekking, your hobbies are trekking and cooking, your profession is something, and your interests are something, your description is something. These are all very much important and vital piece of information that can help us find a better match for you, right? So although we will not work on a core matching logic, okay, because that is not at all a task of a day or a week. It involves a huge amount of like investment in terms of thought process, investment in terms of designing it, uh, building a solution on top of it, and achieving it, right? But of course, the goal is we plan to make an MVP on top of this. Okay, we will create a functionality where we can successfully log in, have our form completion, which could be like taking your details, okay, store your profile, upload your picture maybe, and create a profile and then find potential matches. Okay, we will try to mimic the most common I think the most common platform would be Tinder, in which we can use swipe or accept or reject concept, where we will show some potential matches. Either you accept them or reject them, and if suppose the another partner on the other end is also showing interest in the same profile, we can consider this to be a match. And once matched, then we can unlock the chat functionality. Okay, that's the overall idea of what I imagine as a dating app to be and what I imagine to create. Okay, that's the goal, and that's you can say a storyboarding of what we are planning over here, right? All right. So day one, we saw how to use vibe coding as a non-tech person. Day two, we went a little bit into tech scope. Day three, we just revised. We just revised the complete flow. Okay. Do not worry if you're a beginner. Do not worry if you're someone who is from non-tech background. Okay. I'll not overwhelm you with typical development cycle. Okay. I'll just give you some basic idea that yesterday we tried some technologies. Could be Streamlit. We did that. Maybe this time we can take React, which is a more robust and a functional, you can say, language which can help us create front end. HTML, CSS, and React is very much powerful, right? And we will stick to Python for backend. That's completely fine. Other option could have been Node. Node is a good pair. We could have used yes. Any other programming language which you are welcoming would also have been a very strong match with the current combination. Okay, so the reason we are choosing this is again not something much thoughtful, just random selection of languages that we will proceed with. Okay, so this is the idea. Now this time what we are planning to do is let us first try to think what are the things that might go into the profile creation. Okay, so if I just walk you through, let me open up the folders directory. Okay, let me check if you are able to see this. This is visible on the screen. Okay, uh, okay. Yes, you are able to see this. Okay, so if you go to the data, I have populated few of the profiles. Now, these images are not of real people. These are fake AI generated images. None of these faces actually exist. And the reason I want to keep it like that is because we do not breach anyone's privacy. Even just simply going to Google Images and downloading some images might contain some real humans, and we do not have a consent to use profile picture, which is where I think it is much safer to use generative AI. Same goes for certain profiles that we have here. Unfortunately, I didn't have much time to create much more profiles. So I think we have around 17 female profiles, and uh, it was opposite in reality. You will have much more male profiles on dating sites than actual females. But in our case, unfortunately, due to the time restriction and the model's time consumption to create images, I was only able to generate 27 images for now. Okay, but that's not a big deal. Okay, you could just simply use 2 3 images. A single image will also work. We just need to have an MVP. Okay, we can even use any dummy image for now. Okay, any PNG would also work. But you people are lucky that I'll be putting everything in Git repository. You don't have to strain or sweat. You will simply have to just git clone, and I'll provide you all the images that I have with me. Okay, so that's the first picture I want to clear with you. That this is the idea. Now, few things that I have done, maybe a couple of minutes before starting this session, I will walk you through to that part. Is one, I created data folder. Second is I created yet another virtual environment. This time I named it as .dating-env. You could keep it generic and more standard as .env. Okay. Requirement.txt, you will realize it is an empty file. I have just made a place folder for now. Okay. Similarly, I think a good idea would be to create a folder by the name of backend. Okay. Uh, Ideally, the .env should go in the backend. So I think that's fine. See what the different kind of things that we might need for backend could be the data folder. So let us place data inside the backend. Okay, so data goes right over there. Maybe we might need some routes. We might need some class application. Well, that's fine. I think backend is fine over here. We will create front end folder for now. Okay, so front end will of course have basic files. For example, what it could have is it could have package.json, which will contain the basic requirements for this project. Okay, it could similarly have Tailwind CSS. Okay, which will again a simple config for storing the spelling mistake on page for storing basic spelling components. Okay, that's what we will follow. We could have few things like that. Okay, uh, we could have a folder by the name of source if we want to add something over there. Okay, and in the source we can by default have index.js, things like that. Okay, and then we could have components that will go in the front end. Okay, some basic structure of front end that usually can be followed. Okay, now this is a little bit about our directories. How do they look like? Okay, so you will realize that these are the images and this is the backend. Backend should also contain main.py. Okay, backend should in data we should also contain users.csv. We should contain matches.csv. We should contain chat.csv. Okay. Now, why we are using CSVs? Again, the idea here is that we will not implement the scope of any database for now. But adding MongoDB here is really crucial because the kind of scope that we are currently building on will require a full-fledged database. But we are good to go for now. I have not clearly thought much how we will store chats at this point. Okay, if you ask me, I have not really thought, but I that's not my bigger concern, to be very honest. My concern is that uh, how do I make a temporary database, and I think I'll go with CSVs. Although we could have created some temporary in-memory database. Okay, we could have used some different in-memory database. That's one on the way. We could have used some you can say temporary files in which we would have created posted things and we were good to go. Okay, but this will work. Okay, are we missing on any chat? I don't think so yet. Which backend will use? Okay. Yeah, we are using Python for now. Okay, I think you were just trying to guess which backend I will use. Cool. All right. So with that being said, this is just some random description I wanted to share with you. Okay. Now, let us go and let us add context. Okay. In order to add context, what we will have to do is uh, we will simply say hashtag. Okay. Or we will write as simply as that. Again, we'll be using agent 4.1. GPT-5 mini is available. Fair enough. We can use GPT-5 mini. Okay. Or yes, I think GPT-5 mini should work. Cool. So with that being said, the very first thing that we'll do is that uh, hi, today we are planning to. Okay, is my image still blocking the chat window? Let me ask the moderator. Okay, if moderator is available, can you move my you can say camera placement to bottom left? Okay. Okay. In case if I can extend this little bit, I think we'll be able to see it for now. Okay. This should work. Open chat in editor. Okay. I'll open the chat in editor and yeah, this should fix the problem. Okay. I think this is fine. Hide and this should work. Okay. So, hi, today we are planning to make a dating application similar to in quotes, I'll say Tinder or Bumble, which have the core feature to match mutually interested people. Okay, the tech stack we plan to use is React for the front end and Python, maybe Flask for the backend. Okay, the you can see I have brainstormed some directory structuring which you are free to modify or inspire from. The goal is we begin slowly by understanding the core requirement and then proceed to make this app. Okay, let us say features. What features we are planning to build? Okay, so I'll add some features. Let me try to zoom in my screen. Yes, I think after zooming in, it is much better. Okay, you all will be able to see it much clearer. All right. Yes, zooming in does help. Okay. All right. So the kind of features that we will be building is one register slash sign up. Okay. Here we need to. Hi sir, you are explaining very good. Well, thank you so much, Azaz, for that. Here we need to create a form where we input, we can say name, age, gender. One interesting thing is here that there could be much more on a dating app if you realize, right? People could be interested in similar genders or by genders. There could be many more things, right? There could be dating app for gay people, lesbian people. There could be dating app for transgenders. But in order to reduce the complexity, so that I can demonstrate something in an hour, I'll keep it simple, a straight dating app. Okay. Well, the input will be name, age, gender. I'll by default create a hard rule that a male is interested in female and a female is interested in male. Okay, so I will skip a question to ask that which genders are you interested in. Okay, or since we are creating a dating app, you can see Tinder. I think Tinder goes much more than just dating. It also have friendship sections. Okay, where people who are not looking for a core date, they can also look for finding mutually interested friends. But again, I told you these are all your creative options that you can think on top of it. If you think that we are done with the mental health journal, I'll say that it was just a dummy project, right? But the window is yours, the world is yours. You have the Git repository, clone it, and you can customize on top of it. Okay, take any project and showcase what improvements you have done on that project, so that you can call it yours. Okay, if you understand the concept of plagiarism, you will realize that even if I'm giving you my Git repository for free, if you just simply clone and copy paste it, backtracing will lead to plagiarism because my repository will be much older than yours with same content. So which is not at all trouble. Okay, because I am not claiming any uh, ownership on top of it or making it the very first thing I made it public is because I have opened it to everyone. But the point is that I'm just giving you some subtle ways in which you can improve on top of the applications that we are building here. Okay, these are just to help you understand how agent mode, the chat modes work, and how vibe coding works. Okay, it's just to motivate you. And for all the people who are following up with me, okay, I hope you are using a split screen, trying to mimic this prompt because I'll once I'm finished writing this prompt, I'll put it in the same document that I have shared in the all-in-one documents. Okay. Yeah, so register sign up here, we will create a form where where we input name, age, gender. Maybe we'll take bio, which will be like a short summary. Okay, maybe let's keep it simple. Okay, we could have added hobbies, interests, disinterests, things like that. Okay, well that's fine. Okay, maybe we could have occupation if you want. If you want. Okay. Second is login. The third feature we will create is dashboard. Okay, BOARD dashboard. We'll say 3.1. Uh, Dashboard should show an option to uh, see, you can say uh, potential matches. Okay, that's fine. Dashboard should show an option to see potential matches on which we can uh, accept or reject the, you can say, match, where we should also be able to see uh, interests, the profile information of the matched, you can say matched person. Okay. Okay. So dashboard should show an option to see potential matches on which we accept or reject the match, where we should also be able to see the profile information of the matched person. Uh, okay, that's fine. 3.2. So remember, the numbering that I'm following will help the agent understand this is part of the third concept only. Okay. So I'll say dashboard should also show an option to view uh, mutually matched profiles which are open to chat. Okay. So pop let's say pop to redirect when user selects a mutually accepted profile to a chat window. Okay. Well, that's fine. All right. 3.3 dashboard and the redirected chat. Okay. Dashboard should have logout option too. Fourth is the redirected window. Okay. Where we chat with a personal account should have go back to dashboard redirection or logout option. Okay, so that's in there. Okay, so how we add security features in it, like end-to-end encryption, details, safeties. Okay, so we can start off Abhi with a few of the most basic security features. One being you can keep this chat not in, you can keep it on session based. You can include session management where there will be a unique ID to each profile. Second, most important thing which will be needed here is that you will have to follow GDPR or any such data governance compliance policy. What do I mean by that is whenever we buy a food packet, we get that symbol, right? FSSAI, which means that it is verified that this food is safe to eat. Whenever we buy some product, we get many ISI standards, right? ISI certified product. So similarly, when we build certain software, there are many data regulation policies like GDPR compliance and EU policies. If you open that PDF, you read through what is needed to become GDPR compliant, and if you follow that and pass through an audit, you can get a certification of GDPR compliance, which basically, I'll put it in short, it means that you do not store data at your database. Okay. The reason for that being you want to keep this chats personal, and you can show people trust by showing that you're compliant with the norms, that any data that you use to chat here would be only stored for a week and it will be deleted from our servers. Uh, Another feature that you can build in is that encryption. Okay, so how WhatsApp follows end-to-end encryption, what it means is that whatever I'm typing on my screen is string or a text or a human readable text because it is in this chat window. As soon as I hit enter, on front-end level itself, you can encrypt the data. You can encrypt the data in a way that even if someone hacks into your server and leaks on the chat, they are just encrypted files without a decryption possible, right? And on the other end, you can decrypt and read it. Okay, so those are some features you can add in many of the DevOps security layers. Okay, and DevOps and SecOps or security, network security, along with data security policies are then topic of discussion and details separately. I hope, Abhinam, you got some basic idea of where I'm trying to point you and take you when it comes to data security. All right. Now, with that being said, the redirected window where we chat with the personal account should have go back to dashboard redirection or lower option. Okay. Uh, so all right. So I think this is the plan that we plan to make. Okay. A few notes in which we can keep it. Design should be modern. Ideally, we will not do this through vibe coding. Ideally, we should have a UI developed. Okay, you are developed by some professional, a UI developer, and front end should be built on top of a UI. But since we do not have a UI, we will do it through prompt only. Okay, design should be modern. You can say modern, clean. Okay, and minimal. Few of my favorite keywords which I used to follow and follow pastel color themes, okay, making it look vibrant yet classic, something like that, okay. All right, so these are favorite points, okay. Currently, we do not include the scope of full-fledged database, okay. We try to use or we restrict to use chat.csv to store chats between two users, comma, matching.csv, where we store user level matches, accepted, rejected, okay, comma, other is user.csv, where we store user data, the registration data, along with unique user identification scope. Okay. All right. Uh, that's there. Okay. So go ahead and fill up this project. Now the agent is supposed to work. Enable Simplify menu for all clients. Enable access for Simplify menu model. Uh, let us start this. Okay. Good thing that the agent is first reading through our files because we insisted the agent to read through it. Okay. Let me meanwhile copy the prompt, copy, go back to what the okay, and also meanwhile share this prompt with all of you. These three prompts, okay. Okay, I'm not able to access it over here. Okay. Let me open this document once. Cool. So all of you will have this prompt available with you in the day three document, okay, on the same document. Read source, I'll apply a patch that implements Flask backend, CSV bag, initialize CSV files in header, add Python and scaffold a minimal React front end, okay. Uh, Package JSON source index plus a readme with instructions expected and out. All right, let me rerun this because I think I disrupted the process of the agent, okay. All right. Okay, what we will do is we'll stick back to GPT 4.1, yes, in case that's the trouble that this model is having. Okay, and let me try to run this command. So, how many of you have access to Copilot, and how many of you are building live with us? Put it in the chat if you're building live. Let us see how many of you are doing that. Actually, there's a very important and vital information I missed is that we are not building any matching logic. I think I'll just okay, maybe let us see if it has able to draw something out of it. Okay, let's begin by outlining the project plan, user registration and login, dashboard to view potential matches, accept project C profile, dashboard to view mutual matches and start chat. Okay, potential matches, mutual matches, cool. Chat window for messaging, mutual message logout. Front end will be cool. It took my theme, a modern and peaceful theme. It has captured things correctly. Backend class REST API, cool. Data storage CSV, perfect. Data directory is backend and frontend and requirement. Backend API will be register, login, matches, match accept, match reject, mutual chat get. Okay. Frontend register API, login API, dashboard API, potential matches, mutual logout, chat, user ID, chat window, back to the dashboard. Deliverables will be working backend and frontend, clean and minimal UI, readme. Next, I'll inspect the repository and understand the dependencies. Cool, this looks good. Just add one important point in your work process is that we are not focusing on matching rules or a profile matching API. We will for now match each female in database to each male and each male in database to each female as a potential match. Apart from this, your plan looks good. You can proceed with inspection of the repository files, understand the current dependencies, and move further from there. Fine, so let us hit this. Let us see what kind of working the model will bring for us. Okay, all inspected are currently empty, so we are starting from scratch. True. Next, I will design the backend API endpoints for the dating app, ensuring potential matches are simple. Simply every female match to every male and vice versa with no complex matching logic. After this, I'll outline the data structure for the CSV file tool. Okay, please proceed. Okay, so let me just read through it. We all can read through it. Okay, please implement it. Register login matches, master master mutual chart. So for day one who are interested in understanding what is low level design, these parts they come up in low level design. Okay, where you have to define your input and output. Okay, a proper JSON to begin with. That's where your high level starts converting into low level. So one file is changed, you will say two files are impacted and it has added things into requirement.txt, one being flaw and by me. Dating app backend data directory, okay. User CSV is inside the data directory, which is data. Matches.csv, chat.csv, fine. Hash password, so it will store a password in an encoding. Get user. If this file is available, open it and user.append row and return the list of users. Okay, fine. I think this is fine. It will just read the CSV, which is user CSV, and return the users. Write a user will just use dot write method somewhere. Okay, here it is. Dot write row. Find by me user ID, name, age, gender, bio, occupation, and password hash. Fine. Get matches if overlooked path exists. So again, what is happening here is that the very first function is helping us create a password. Second function getting us a user, all the details in the database. Adding a user. Third is to get a match. So how does it go through the match? Let's look at it. It will open the match CSV. Okay. On the new line, it will read and return all the possible matches. But this is when match already exists. If it doesn't, here is the method to write a match. How does it write is that it will open the matches CSV. For the given user ID, it will match user IDs and status and store it like this. Okay. And in order to update and match, what we'll do is for ming matches for the given user ID where that match is, okay. If not updated, this is fine. We'll open and rewrite the status. The status could be accepted or rejected, something like that. Okay. This is fair enough. Get chats is nothing but to retrieve the CSV. Write chat is to update the CSV. So these are all auxiliary functions. In real life, in actual development, these functions will not be placed in main.py. Okay, these functions should be placed in tools or auxiliary methods or a separate folder to handle all the utility functions. Could be utility.py. Okay, because these are all utility functions, and in fact, you can go ahead and segregate them into database utility.py, where all the database related utilities will be stored over there, so that the code becomes more modular and the code is much more flexible in terms of updates and handling feature changes. Okay, storing everything into main.py is not the correct path, but for MVP, I will allow it. Okay, so that's the idea. Now, after this starts your main routes. Ideally, main.py should start only by using routes. Okay, that's the main purpose. So in route, we have the very first API which goes by the name of slash register. Okay, to register something, we need some data which should come from frontend. So line number 91 captures that data is equals to request.json. So whatever is coming from front end, it should contain some things like this: user name, age, gender, bio, and we'll get a password for the user, okay, and write user, okay. We will okay, return this unify app dot login, and login. What it should do is from the user list, if name is equals to the name and password has equals to password hash, then it should return the user successfully. Else you can say invalid credentials. Fair enough, a very simple function. Any doubts? Any difficulties leading to the code? If you say that your login function is not clear or get potential match, right user, anything is not clear, what is written here, I can help you understand that. Okay. So get potential matches again, it will go through the same list. Get users, get matches, use for you and users, if user ID equals this, this is the user, not user not found. We'll capture the gender, and this is the concept. Okay, if you remember, match each female to male and vice versa, which is why on line number 127 we have gender here, and potential matches are we will iterate through all the users that we have, and we will only store it if the gender of that given uh, in for loop, whatever user we are on, the gender of that user is not equal to the gender of our current matching user. Okay, and user ID is not equal to user ID because we should not match a user against the same user, although the gender would have been sufficient. Okay, but this is fine, more robust actually. Exclude already accepted or rejected. So that's a very interesting and I will say a commendable job done by the agent, because I didn't tell the agent to make this feature, but it is a very important feature. Okay, because when I was thinking about CSV, it did came into my mind that I missed it. But lucky enough that agent was smart enough to capture it. That if I have already rejected someone, why would on day two it should come back in my potential match? Okay, that's the idea. And if you ever use a dating app, you will realize this is a very important money making trick or a step that we can have. If you, especially boys, if you understand, boys simply start doing either they will keep on accepting or rejecting. They work like this, right? So if by default they like someone and they have rejected it, there is no scope of getting them back, okay? Because the code works like that. The code is that once you rejected someone, you cannot get it back. But business people, they can be smart enough to make a feature that they can help you with a redo. We can redo your task. We can go into the database, change the status of recently rejected person as back to your potential match. So again, since our app is not paid, since our app is dummy, we do not need to think on top of it. Just giving you some ideas on how you can make this project more interesting and more production ready or industry ready. Okay, that's few inspiration for you. Route match accept. So if the match is accepted, of course we need to update. If rejected, again we need to update. Okay, with the rejection status. We did go through how the update match works, right? It takes the user ID, match ID, and status. So status is accepted or status is rejected. Least mutually accepted would be, now we will take the user's ID, we'll get their matches, and in the accepted, we'll have to go to the users which are accepted and check if that users also contain this user in acceptance. If yes, we'll say these are the mutual matches. And only then we will run through chat message if there's a mutual exception. We can get the chat history and we can successfully run this. Overall, the code looks good to me. Running through this 180, 190 lines didn't seem troublesome, okay, which is fine by me. All right, this is done. The backend class API, CSV process are now implemented. The required dependence is done. Does it only require class for now? Yes, CSV over time actually by built-in. Okay. Next step, scaffold the front end with it, connect front end to backend, and readme to run instructions, perform quality check. I'll say excellent work. I am on board with you. Proceed with the next step. Now we should see things coming in the front end. Okay. So people, you can also share in your interesting journeys using white coding, your experience using white coding, not just doubts. You can also open up in the chat and explain us what you're building. Okay, how was the learning experience? You can let me know. Okay, even uh, that will be a good feedback so that we can improvise what you want, mm, things around it. Okay, allow edits to sensitive files. I'll say allow index.js. Yes, cool. So it is definitely going ahead and applying some code for me. While I can sit back, enjoy my games on PlayStation, just go out, hang out with my friends, let AI do my work, okay, and come back tomorrow in the company and give my response that hey, I finished this project. This is an excellent way in which you can use vibe coding, okay. The front end React app is done. Okay, what are the changes? These are the few changes. Package JSON index. Let us check. Okay, these are just mapping the folders like component, base, okay, where these options are and utilities. Fine. Tailwind will contain the color. It has used some decent colors. I don't mind it. Package.json will explain like a requirement.txt for you can say React. Index.json. All right. React. For browser router navigation. And as CSS, it will import styling. Okay, a register function, creating a class over there. Okay, justify this. A class to log in, dashboard and chat. These are functions. Okay, and we will the app will map everything like this. Okay, okay, perfect. Looks good. Looks good. The front-end React app is uploaded with these features, particular theme, using Tailwind. The basic Tailwind setup is in place, but you will need to run Tailwind build process for CSS to work. Wire the front-end to backend, readme, perform quality check. Let me know if you want to proceed with wiring up front-end backend. Native, yes. Please go ahead and you can say run the Tailwind setup class build process. Also set up the dot VNV for backend and spin up the backend server and then go ahead and work with merging front end, backend, followed by later. There we go. I think the agent is really helping us shape our profile correctly. Okay, so I will allow it to run the tailwind command, which will help me. Okay, should not determine an executable to run. Okay, I'll just check npm dash version. Okay, this is cool. Okay, log this is available. The 1 5 later. Okay, let us pass the error log to the chatbot or the agent. Okay, but we can also partially allow it to meanwhile create backend and yes, let's use this environment. All right, cannot find. Okay, I'll it try to run all together. cd slash back backend. Okay, ls. Okay, python dash make env dot env. Yes. Okay. .vdb scripts create. This is done. cd back. Pip installed as our requirements.txt. This is done. Now let's say cd backend. Python main.py. Backend is up. Now let us go back. Okay. Put out a that is fine. Output that is fine. Okay. Let us try to run this command once again. Okay. I click copy. Let me create the terminal once again. Control Shift tilde. cd front end and paste this command. npm was unable to run this command. Okay. Let me walk to the agent with this. Copy, paste, and yeah. Okay. Okay. We have to first work to the npm install, and then this should work. I click copy. Okay. So I think SQL classes are also aligned. I just saw the notification today that I think we are doing a live. Not sure. Safa, I think the Let's Upgrade admin will be able to guide you when we are starting the SQL bootcamp. Okay. Found zero vulnerabilities. This is done. Let's go ahead and do npx statement rebuilding, and this should work. Okay. All right. I completed the backend server start and ran this command. Okay. Let us proceed. Ah, so this is cool. This is really working fine by us. Okay. Now we are on the stage 8 of our planned program. So if I just scroll up to the top, you will realize that we made few of the deliverables, which is inspect repository, read this file, design the backend API. Once we were done with it, we get to step number 4, completed this, then we started with applying patch. Step 5 was to create the front-end React app. We are working on top of it. Once we have done that, we are now starting wiring the front-end and back-end, which is really cool. I mean, if I imagine that without vibe coding, without generating AI, we had to build this project, it could have been a full day job where a backend front-end would uh, take up this much amount of time to deliver this MVP. Okay. Again, we are not talking about delivering a project. It's still not possible even with vibe coding. We cannot expect the project to accomplish in a day, even an MVP or POC to begin with, right? In a day, you can only end up writing some logic. That's the reality on the pace of IT industry. But with vibe coding, things have, you can say, fastened a bit. And it will keep on fasting because more and more people learn to vibe code, more and more people embrace and appreciate the vibe coding. Uh, and this reaches to the concept level of admins and the business owner. They will realize that now developers can do much faster work, which is where the pace will come up in a year or two. You can realize that vibe coding will be very much needed in the industry. Okay. Right. So that's cool. I think that works. Now let us see what the agent has done for us. The front end is now wired, register logging forms connected, dashboard shows potential mutual matches, chat window can send receive messages, basic login state and navigation implemented. Next step is to add readme, run instructions, provide perform quality checks and basic smoke tests. For sure. Complete with writing readme and covering the test score. Okay, let us proceed with it. So README is complete with setup, read instructions, and manual test quality check steps for both backend and frontend. The project is now fully folded, documented, and ready to use for development. Need automatic tests, deployment scripts, or want any add features, you can let me know. We will keep these modifications. Okay. Now let us go back and try to check through our code. Okay. All right. So remember that we have allowance which works on monthly basis, and this is the code completion and chat message that we are using. We are fine till this point. Okay. All right. So this is working. Okay. Okay. All right. First, let us start the backend. Now let us go back. Okay. If I'm in front end, in PM start, it has work, but okay. Read script not external. Okay. This will work. If I go check the index.css, node model we are not using components anywhere. Okay, let us use and now start to test the application. We will go to localhost 2000 just to confirm if the app is up. No, the app is not up yet. I will deploy or host my website for everyone to view. Well, there are many different platforms that you can use. I think NPM has its own platform where you can run through a basic application like White has its own. Okay, so I'll just walk you through that. Host a White website. Okay, so you can either use white.dev. Okay, which will give you a static URL and you can host this. For backend, you can put it in maybe Google Cloud for now with 3 months of free subscription, or there are many other platforms where you can post your backend. You can also wrap it in Hugging Face. You can bring it live over there, and many more different platforms where you can showcase this task. Okay, uh, so that's a basic idea of where and how you can run it. Okay, all right. How to run it? Good. Okay. I think Mawado, we got the answer. Fine. All right. Anyone else that we are missing through? Any chat or any doubt or any confusion that you might have? You can definitely get back to me. I'm more than happy to help you over here. Okay, so I'll just run this once, copy this, paste, running it, copy, and then start. Formats can go in Backend itself. Okay, we don't need the dating anyway anymore. Let me delete it. Directory, backend, npm install, npm install, npm start. Okay, this should run. See, okay, cool. I think the README is also self-contained and explains a lot of things. Made with love for vibe coding live classes at Let's Upgrade. Save. I mean, let us say npm run. All right. Or let's say npm start. We are in the correct folder, but frontend name index.html, index.html is placed in src and it's trying to either search it from public. Okay. So let us say that take it forward like copy, paste, right over here. But I already have index.html src folder. Please confirm. Okay, so Mado is saying that we can use npm run script. I think we already ran that code once. We can run it once again. npm run script. And there we go. I said let's implement this npm run npm scripts. Good. So we have to just fix that path. Let us just. Okay. Isn't this in your source folder? Okay. You need to create an instruction of file inside the public folder. Please read. So cool. I think this should work for us, and this should be fair enough. Let us say npm start now. Yes, cool. So we have the localhost spinning up. The login does seem a bit too small, but we can always improvise on top of it. Okay. What we'll have to do is we have to first create an account. I'll have to definitely let the AI know that this is not at all a good feature. Let me say Gaurav, mail, bio can contain things. Okay, this is occupation and this is password. Age can go here. This can be bio, random bio. Okay, and occupation could be IT dev. Password could be test at the rate 123. Let's say register. Okay, server. I didn't actually even take the profile correctly. If we check, was there an error at the front end? No. Okay. Let us go open up the inspect tool and we will realize access to special okay, cost policy is being blocked. Okay. So we'll have to handle the cost correctly, allow origin with asterisk. Okay. So that's one. Getting this error on front end related to cost. Okay, so so you'll have to handle cost. That's a very common and very simple issue to begin with. Okay, the error message you posted is not let cost. It still says could not find a required file name in the HTML. This means could not copying this HTML to make sure that application. Okay. Let us do one thing. Let us just you can say close this. Let us try to follow the EDB that is with us once again. Okay, so we'll go back, we'll open the front end, we'll navigate to the front end folder. Here we are. We will say npm install. This is done. Okay, it is already done. So requirement should be already satisfied. Okay, we'll just say that. We'll just do this. Okay, change one package, line vulnerability is fine. I'll go to here. Okay, npm tailwind, rebuilding them into seconds, and then npm install. All right, let us say create account, name GH33 bio something, occupation something, password is 123, register, please select gender as male, register, server error. Successfully, you will do F12, access to fetch localhost 5000 register from course. Okay, this should definitely be hitting at the backend. If we check the backend, it's sending 200 for register. You should at least send failed to load resource. Okay. Copy. Control Z, right click, copy, paste, and run it once. Yes, now it is hitting the course error. So we'll have to do pip install class course and import course in our backend. We'll go to the backend, we'll go to the main.py, and we'll say from class course import course, and then we'll have to decorate the app in the course. So we'll say course app, okay. So okay, the RS, we should go, we'll say control C, pip install class course. For origin, I think we'll have to mention the strict for now. That's fine. That should work. Back to Python main.py, and now to register. Now let us try to reload this once. The backend is working fine. Alright. Still failing at the cross error. We need more granular details. Okay, so let us try to debug it up. Oh, the big reason is I didn't save my file. That's the reason. Let us reload python.main by once. Try to hit register, and this time it did work. Okay, so we were able to register it again. I should have better, you can say, logs which are not yet available. Okay, so we will have to use the occupation. So one thing is that suppose if I have registered something, let me go to data, let me go to users, and realize that we have this profile coming in. Okay, ideally there should be a logic to read users.csv. Let me search for. Okay. This was for users.csv, which let me go to the login page. Okay, get users, write users, get matches, matches, update. Okay, first is user ID and name, age, gender, my occupation, all that. Okay, we are not anywhere storing the email ID, so that's very weird to us. Okay, so let us do one thing. Let us also try to onboard the email ID during the registration process. Okay, let us add one feature to both front end and back end, which should update our users.csv2, which is to accept uh, email ID also during registration, which is must to login on. So I'll say backend function is this. And let us run it through the agent once. So it has successfully updated everything. Backend added an email ID to the registration. All right, an email updated to the CSV. Okay. Although I don't, let me keep this change. Let us see where the scope is updating. Okay. Yes. Now I have email ID with me. Okay. If any user document object email ID exists, if any document name already exists. Okay. We should not check for name. It's fine. Okay, yeah, even the indentation errors have been identified by the agent. I was just trying to fix those. We can let the agent work on top of it, okay? The agent is still working on top of it. Now, the scope here is that our front end is not really functional to begin with. Okay, the front end needs much massive improvements, which can happen. Of course, it can take a bit more than an hour to just build on top of it. I think with a scope of an hour, we were able to outline the entire flow of the structure. Okay, some basic logics, and we are here with the a basic MVP. Okay, if you see. The point of adding a profile picture is still missing on the front end, which should be vital for us because that's what we are doing here. Okay. Uh, I think deployment we already covered more in that deployment. If you want to do it on local, you are free to use your machine. But deployment, if you have to do it on a cloud-based system, one is that Google Cloud Platform provides 3 months of free instance creation. You can use that. Other is you can deploy it on Honeyspace. Third is you can go with GitHub. Okay. Fourth is I showed you how you can run your front end at a free cloud service. Okay. How to run this code in VS Code? Well, we are already running the code. If you check the front end, back end, I'll just walk you through that. Okay, that's fine. I'll clear the doubt for you. So let us say that we are in our root directory, editing application. Okay, if you check, यहाँ पर front end, back end, this both folder are available. Okay, so if we cd backend and our backend is posted on the Python class, so what it requires is that this .venv should be activated. Do it all. Let us say deactivated. Let us say it is deactivated. Okay, this is not working. Let us clear everything once again. If this is the case, the very first step is .venv scripts and activate. You have to first activate the environment. If it is working, you have to do Python main.py. And if you run it, Since I've just made some changes, the code has broken, but it was running previously. So let me do Control Z and Control Z, Control Z everywhere, Control Z. Okay. Save, and now try to run it. So you will realize that this is how you deploy. This is the deployment of backend. You will see the server is up, and this is where the server is running. Okay. Even if you go here, you should see a welcome message. Okay. With a slash. Okay, slash. We don't have any root directory name. That's fine. So by default, what you can do is in Flask, you can also create a simple route, which is a simple route with get, which will return a welcome message. Okay. But this is a simple demonstration. देखो यहाँ पर पीछे they are creating logs on the backend server that someone tried to hit some APIs which are not working, and this is log. This is how the backend deployment will work. If we talk about the front-end deployment, the front-end deployment is that we went to the front-end folder. The very first thing we do is npm install, and then npm tailwind command, and then npm start. Okay. Now these are three commands. As soon as you hit it, your front-end should be running on this particular localhost 3004. Okay. If you go to the README, this is where I have followed everything. Okay. In the README, we have the complete features, data structures, deployment scope, how do you deploy it, front-end scope, how do you run this, details on what front-end and back-end does. Okay. So I think, Moin, that's what you were asking, how to run this code in VS Code. So this README will do that. Now, coming to the completion of this project, okay? So what I will do is, I'll fix this code a little bit. I'll improve on top of the UI, and just as similar to how I provided you the day2 tab. Okay, if I go here, if you check day2 prompts, in day2 prompts, if you go to this Git repository, okay, let me copy this, copy and paste it over here. Okay, if I go to the Git repository, you will see that I have also added a prompts.txt in which I have explained you all the prompts I ran through. Similarly, for day 3, what I will do is I'll give you a complete updated code in the Git repository with all the prompts that I was able to run and deliver this project with. Okay, so that's the idea. But I think we are running short on time, and there are 2-3 important tasks which are still pending. One is the profile picture addition. The other is improvisation of the UI. The third is a small fix that we're just doing. We added cost that should fix the end-to-end flow did work. Okay, we were able to register. If you check backend and the user, we were able to even capture an entry. Okay, so that flow of front-end and backend is somewhere connected now. It is working. So with this, I will rest the current project here. If there are any further questions, doubts that you want to ask, you are more than welcome to. If not, then we will stop the session. Ideally, it can take around 10 seconds from the moment I speak, 6 to 10 seconds till the moment it reaches you. So we can wait. If there are any comments coming in, we will answer them. Fair enough. All right. Thank you everyone for joining in. It was really interesting to be your guide and mentor and go through this series of sessions. Looking forward for more lives and connecting with you. Tata, bye bye, sayonara.
AI isn't coming. It's here. And if you're not building with it, you're already behind. Whether you're just starting out or job hunting, the reality is clear. Companies are hiring Gen AI engineers right now, and they're paying 20 to 30% more. Gen AI is booming from $44 billion in 2023 to a projected $667 billion by 2030. Job listings asking for Gen AI skills tripled in the past year alone. This isn't just a trend, it's a transformation. That's where the applied certified AI engineering program by ITM Skills University and LetsUpgrade comes in. You get a guaranteed 6-month paid internship with a minimum stipend of 10,000 rupees per month. With our partnership with over 700 top companies, access to 200 plus premium AI models worth $300 across text, image, speech, video, and more. You'll build a job-ready Gen AI portfolio with 5 real-world projects. Train hands-on with the tools used at OpenAI, Meta, and Google. In just months, you go from learner to Gen AI engineer. Not just earning, but leading. AI is transforming every industry. Don't just watch it happen. Be the part of it.